Alright, so I know a lot of people have been trying to get in touch with me over time, and while I love the love, I also feel like I need to set a few boundaries when it comes to things like people asking to do business or looking for stock tips or specific financial advice. As it stands, we aim to exist primarily as an education and financial news platform that puts out content to do with money in Korea in an easy to swallow way. If and when we do choose to expand and make this more of a two-way thing, we'll let you know. That being said though, we do see your messages, and today we're going to respond directly to one sent over IG by This is Rosemary. You're watching Sekider, and today we're going to do a quick thing about brokerage fees for those of you looking to open a new account soon. Now before we continue, we'd just like to remind you that this channel is meant for general education purposes only and isn't meant to replace the legal or financial advice from a paid professional. No mention of any stock, or in this case brokerage, on this channel should be considered a tip to buy, sell, hold that stock, or in this case to sign up for that brokerage. If at any point we actually advertise anything, we'll let you know. In any case, we can't know what kind of security best suits your needs and goals or what type of financial product fits what you want to do. So, we would love it if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel and stick with us as we explore different ways to figure out how to make that decision for yourself. Alright, enough with that. Let's get to it. So this is going to be a quick one because Rosemary actually did the key research for us, but after a bit of digging, I found this chart from Brian Park's blog, which I also fact-checked against each brokerage's website to verify. Quick note, the acronyms HTS and MTS refer to the trading platforms provided by each brokerage, with HTS referring to PC-based home trading services and MTS referring to a mobile or handheld trading service, right? MTS, mobile trading service. This chart pretty much covers everything you need to know about the brokerage options in Korea, but it does not get into the nitty-gritty. For example, Kium, which Rosemary accurately identified as being the brokerage with the lowest fees that's accessible to foreigners, charges 0.0157% per transaction, which in this case is rounded to 0.2. On top of this, because this chart was actually made for reference for actual Korean citizens, some of the fees don't actually apply to us. For example, the cheapest brokerage is NH with a tiny fee of 0.01% per transaction, and this is actually one of the most popular apps amongst retail Korean investors. They're able to charge such low fees due to being a mobile brokerage, but for us at this point in time, accessing mobile financial services, while legal as of last year, is, as far as I know, still impossible. It's the same reason we can't sign up for an account with K-Bank or KakaoBank, and I know there are other sites that say that we can sign up for KakaoBank. Just note that KakaoBank and KakaoPay are two different, distinct things. But in any case, this is mostly in part due to the lack of online identification and verification infrastructure for foreigners seeking to access non-face-to-face applications for financial products. It's why we have to go in and sign up at a bank in person, even if our intention is primarily to access their online banking services. The same goes for brokerage accounts. Now, if this has changed at the point in time in which you're watching this video, let me know in the comment section below. It would please me to know that I'm wrong on this, or that things have changed for the better and that we've gained equal access to these resources, but as it stands right now, you're going to have to actually go physically into the brokerages. Now, one more frustrating thing about MTS apps in Korea is that you can't actually test them out or experiment with them or explore any of their apps prior to opening an account with that brokerage. Given that I've been with the same brokerage for a long time, I really can't tell you exactly what the functionality of other apps may be, but there is one main rule of thumb to consider. Generally, the cheaper the fees, the more basic the service. So let's compare NH and NHQV Invest. As is identified by their titles, they're both platforms provided by NH, but they do have differences in fees and they have differences in product services. So, while Namu has all the functionality with regards to the actual buying and selling of stocks, NHQV Invest provides significantly more detailed research and charting, as well as more information on each security built into the app. Now, given that most of our viewers are fairly unlikely to be at an advanced Korean language level, this may mean that a lot of the benefits provided by these fees, like the research and the services that are provided, are not necessarily applicable to our situation. If that's the case, then it may just be best to go with the cheapest option since you're only going to be doing a couple things. Now for us, the cheapest option is, as previously stated, Kium Asset, so let's talk about them. For one thing, Kium is one of the most popular apps for retail investing in the country overall. This is likely due to the low fees and the ease of purchasing and selling of assets. Any buy or sell options available on any of the other stock apps is actually available on Qum's MTS interface anyways, and that allows for traders, long-term investors, and anyone in the middle to adapt their buy and sell patterns to their own individual styles. The low fees and convenience of Qum makes it a pretty good option for any no-nonsense investor or full-nonsense investor for that matter. Now that we've talked about the cheapest though, let's talk about one of the more expensive options in terms of fees, Samsung Pop. Now Pop is a brokerage that we've spoken about in the past due to their comprehensive sign-up packages that make the application process for foreigners abroad a lot easier. This is one of the many things that allows a brokerage to justify their high fees, including but not limited to a robo/AI investor that adjusts to your needs and style, English services, which is key because pretty much no other brokerage I've seen provides active English services, investing education services, which are in Korean, but they do have a few pages in English, and a whole slew of other things like daily reports and research papers. The fact that they deadass have an English language page with full English menus is a standout that may make some in our community accept the higher fees. The service that I personally use, QV Invest, also has these kinds of services, albeit all in Korean, and it also charges a premium when compared to other brokerages. But personally, whether in Canada or Korea or I guess in the States with the whole Robinhood thing, I've found that in a crunch, it's nice to know that the brokerage that I'm with is reliable and I'm willing to pay for that security. Now, this isn't to say that other brokerages aren't as or more reliable than QV Invest, but this is what I'm comfortable with, and I know that the fees that I'm paying are going into a service that I'm getting back from. In short, the brokerage that you choose should be based on what you'll expect that you'll need from the brokerage. Make notes that MTS apps are all fully in Korean, so no matter which brokerage you sign up with, you'll need to figure out your way around them, and that may take a bit of time. But that's just one of the things that you've probably already learned to accept, having lived in Korea for a while. For most people in general, Qum is probably enough. For others, Samsung's English services may be attractive in spite of the higher fees. As with anything on this channel, we can't know what you want and need, and for a lot of people, it may actually just be worth it to go with whichever brokerage is nearest and most convenient to you if you don't think that you'll be day trading enough for the fees to hurt you too much. Alright, that's it for me. Hope this helped, and yo Rosemary, I really hope that we answered your question. We'll be back soon with another What We're Watching, but until then, why not check out some of the new episodes on This Korean Life, go check out some of the new content on Hanggang Magazine, and also take care of yourself. Take care of your people. And take care of people that are not your people if you have the ability to do so. Take it easy.